We're going to go over something very, very important. As an ex-recruiter myself, there are a lot of mistakes you can make as a travel nurse, and I'm going to go over the 7 top mistakes that I have seen over the years and that you can avoid so that things go as smoothly as possible for you. So let's dive right in. I got my notes over here. So number 1, biggest mistake I see is not understanding how the industry works, and more specifically, even how the pay works. You as a travel nurse are working to make a living. For a lot of you, that's why you're a nurse. That's why we have jobs. So you really, really, truly need to understand exactly how it works. Too many travel nurses kind of just go into it and don't understand the rules and regulations with the overall industry, but more specifically, like I said, know exactly what to expect from a pay standpoint. There's a ton of resources out there, including on Travel Nursing Classroom. We won't get into them today, but make sure to do your research. It is very, very important. Number 2, not being careful where you put your information online. If you put your information out there just on a random website, a random advertising website, for example, you could get inundated with hundreds of phone calls and emails each and every day. I promise you, you do not want this one to happen to you. So be very, very careful where you put your information online. What I'd recommend is to find a couple companies, 1 or 2. We'll get to that in just a second, but find a couple companies, go directly to their website, enter your information in directly on their website. What you want to avoid is clicking on an ad or some other clickbait, if you will, where a random website that's not a specific company ends up getting your information, and then they're going to sell your information to a bunch of companies, and then that's when the phone calls and emails start, and it is very, very difficult to get them to stop, other than changing your email or phone number, but who wants to do that? Number 3, reaching out to recruiters when it's too early. So it's fine if you want to reach out to a recruiter, a year or a few months even ahead of time to find out some information. There's no problem with that. But unfortunately for you, until you're about, couple weeks to maybe a month, maybe 2 months tops, until you're ready to go, a recruiter's not going to pay a whole lot of attention to you. They're in it. This is their job too. They need nurses now, and that can start as quick as possible. So the sweet spot right there, if you can start and be at a travel assignment, at a destination in 2 to 4 weeks, you're golden right there. That's when a recruiter is going to give you a lot of their attention. But if you're past that two-month mark, if you call a recruiter and say, hey, I can start in 5-6 months, they're going to be like, okay, great, call me in 4 months. So nothing wrong with calling ahead and kind of getting a relationship started, but don't expect a whole lot of attention from the recruiters until it's almost time to go. It's a quick biz, and these travel assignments happen quickly. So just FYI there. Number 4 mistake is only working with one company. I touched on this a minute ago, but just like if you were to go buy a car, you're going to look around, you're going to maybe go to different dealerships unless you know a specific car dealer or a specific company, maybe through a referral. It's the same thing with a company. If you've got a friend that's a travel nurse and has got a great experience with a certain company or recruiter, then great, stick with them. But eventually you're going to want to at least have 2 companies and probably even 3 or 4 companies, maybe even 3 or 4 recruiters in total. And I say this for a number of reasons. The 2 main reasons: number 1, it gives you more negotiating power. So if you've got 2 assignments that you're thinking between, same thing, back to the car analogy. If you're looking for a certain type of car and one dealership's giving you a better deal, too many deals going on. If one dealership is giving you a better deal than another dealership, you're going to be telling back and forth what the other dealerships are saying, and then hopefully that kind of makes the pot or the car a better deal for you. So it's the same thing with travel nursing. If you've got one contract offer, you go to another company and recruiter and be like, look, I've got this great offer. Can you do anything for me? Can you sweeten the pot at all? Otherwise, no offense, I'm going to take this one because it's a great deal. So number 1, gives you more negotiating power. Number 2, obviously more options. Every company has different job locations. They've got contracts with different hospitals. Some companies specialize in certain states or certain areas. So if you want to go to a certain area, and your company that you're currently with doesn't have jobs there, obviously you're going to need to kind of spread your wings and see what else is out there. So it gives you more options. So very good thing for a couple of reasons there. Bottom line, make sure you have at least 2 to 3 companies is what we kind of recommend. And at each one of those companies, you're going to have, 1 or 2 recruiters there. So that's tip number 4. Tip number 5. I don't know why I keep doing that. Tip number 5, not budgeting enough money to cover upfront costs. So yes, the travel companies that you work with, pay for a lot of your stuff. You're going to get scrubs covered. Any licenses that you get, you're going to get covered. Certifications, you're going to get covered. You're going to get travel money covered. So one of the huge benefits of travel nursing is you get a lot of this stuff paid for. But what nurses don't realize, you don't get paid for them up front. They're not going to say, hey, this cert that I've got is $100. Send me $100, then I'll go get this certification. Nope. They are going to have you go get the certification or have you drive to your destination. And then once you start an assignment on your first, second, third paycheck, whenever, once you provide proof of that purchase, no matter what it was for, then at that point they'll add it to your next paycheck. So a simple example is, getting a license is going to cost a couple $100, and then driving to an assignment, if it's going to take you a couple days. Obviously, you've got gas money, hotel expenses involved. So you're going to need a little bit of a stockpile of money up front to get you to an assignment, and then save your receipts, submit those receipts, and then after a couple weeks of working on that assignment, you should get reimbursed by that company. But what you don't want to rely on is that company sending you money up front, because they will not do that. You need to show receipts. All right, number 6, we got 2 more. Not knowing where you want to go. So you want to be organized. This kind of goes back to the being prepared thing. If you call a travel company and basically say, I don't know what I want, I'll go anywhere, you will probably not get sent to the best location or the best assignment. So you're going to get sent to to kind of the crap hospital or the crap location that no one else wants or no one else wants to go to. And then if you just don't know where you want to go and the recruiter starts firing off suggestions at you and you just basically keep shooting them down, that's not a good thing either. The recruiter is going to get upset. So be decisive. Know at least a few options of where you'd like to go. Plan ahead. Know if you need a license, if you need a compact license, or if you just need a state license. That's a whole nother topic and a video that we'll get into another time. We've probably actually already got another video all about licensing out there. But bottom line, know a few spots you want. Be decisive. It's going to help you and your recruiter and make everything smoother in the long run. Be decisive. Number 7, not negotiating pay. Big time. You as the travel nurse, you can negotiate pay. And more specifically, here again, we'll get into it a little bit more, but something what we call an extension bonus. You get to negotiate your extension bonus. Basically, all that means is once you complete a travel assignment, let's call it 13 weeks, a lot of times you'll get an offer to stick around for an additional 13 weeks after your assignment's over. So at that point, a lot of times nurses will just say, yeah, sounds good, I had a great time. This is an opportunity for you, the nurse, to basically say, oh, they liked me, huh? Great. I liked them, but by the way, it'd be nice if I could get, $50 more per week, $100 more per week. The hospital is going to have no problem doing that. Same with the travel company. They've already got all their costs back from getting you started on a travel assignment, with getting you set up with all their drug tests and all the other fees that kind of, in costs, I guess, if you will, that go along with getting you to that assignment. So if you extend, the company and the hospital save money, and some of that money should be passed on to you. So boom, there you've got it. These 7 tips or biggest mistakes, I guess you'd say, that I saw as a recruiter for many years. So as always, subscribe down below and leave comments if I forgot one, or if you have some mistakes that you want to share with other travel nurses out there, leave them in the comments below. I'm always reading those and looking forward to hearing from the audience out there. And lastly, be on the lookout for other videos, because we're going to have more videos, more on some of these topics, even a little bit more in depth. So Thanks for watching, and talk to you soon.